Samuel 2, Part 1. David hears of Saul's death. David said to him, "Where do you come from?" And he said to him, "I have escaped from the camp of Israel." And David said to him, "How did it go? Tell me." And he answered, "The people fled from the battle, and also many of the people have fallen and are dead. And Saul and his son Jonathan are also dead." Then David took hold of his clothes and tore them. David laments for Saul and Jonathan. And David lamented with his lamentation over Saul and Jonathan his son. David anointed king of Judah. And the men of Judah came, and there they anointed David king over the house of Judah. Ishbosheth made king of Israel. But Abner the son of Ner, commander of Saul's army, took Ishbosheth the son of Saul and brought him over to Mahanaim, and he made him king over Gilead and the Asherites and the Jezreel and the Ephraim and the Benjamin and all Israel. Ishbosheth, Saul's son, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. And the time that David was king in Hebron over the houses of Judah was 7 years and 6 months. The Battle of Gibeon. Abner the son of Ner and the servants of Ishbosheth the son of Saul went out from Mahanaim to Gibeon. And Joab the son of Zeruiah and the servants of David went out and met them at the pool at Gibeon. And Abner said to Joab, "Let the young men arise and compete before us." And each caught his opponent by the head and thrust his sword in his opponent's side. So they fell down together. And Abner and the men of Israel were beaten before the servants of David. But the servants of David had struck down of Benjamin 360 of Abner's men. Abner joins David. There was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David, and David grew stronger and stronger while the house of Saul became weaker and weaker, and sons were born to David at Hebron. Here's a picture. So first was Amnon of Ahoim of Jezreel, Shaleb of Abigail, the widow of Nabal, Absalom, that's Mac, daughter of Talem, king of Jeshur, Abdonijah of Haggith, Shephethah, and Ithream of Eglah, David's wife. Now Saul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Why have you gone into my father's concubine?" And Abner was very angry over the words. "And yet you charge me today with the fault concerning a woman? God, do so to Abner and more also, if I do not accomplish for David what the Lord had sworn to him, to transfer the kingdom from the house of Saul. Make your covenant with me, and behold, my hand shall be with you to bring over all Israel to you." And he said, "Good. First bring Michal. I'm not sure if it's Michelle or Michael. Anyways, Saul's daughter. When you come to see my face, bring her when you come to see my face." And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband Paltiel. Abner said to David, "I will arise and go, and I will gather all Israel to my lord the king, that they may make a covenant with you." Then Joab went to the king and said, "What have you done? You know that Abner the son of Ner came to deceive you, and to know you're going in and you're coming out. Or you're going out and you're coming in, and to know all that you are doing." Joab murders Abner. And when Abner returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the midst of the gate to speak with him privately, and there he struck him in the stomach so that he died. Abishai his brother killed Abner because he put their brother Ashel to death in the battle at Gibeon. David mourns Abner. And the king lamented over Abner, saying, "So all the people and all Israel understood that day that it had not been the king's will to put to death Abner. The Lord repay the evildoer according to his wickedness." Ishbosheth murdered. Now Saul's son had two men who were captains of raiding bands, Bana and Rechab. When they came into the house, as he lay on his bed in his bedroom, they struck him and put him to death and beheaded him. Here's the head of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, your enemy, who sought your life. And David commanded his young men, and they killed them and cut off their hands and feet and hanged them beside the pool at Hebron. David anointed king of Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 40 years. At Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and at Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah 33 years. And David took more concubines and wives, and these are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elisha, Nepheg, Japhael, Ishamala, Eladah, and Eliphet. David defeats the Philistines, and David came to Baal Perazim, and David defeated them there. And the Philistines came up yet again, and David inquired of the Lord. He said, "You shall not go up. Go around to the rear and come against them opposite the balsam trees. And when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, then arouse yourself, for then the Lord has gone out before you to strike down the army of the Philistines." The ark brought to Jerusalem. David again gathered all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000, and they carried the ark of God on a new cart. And Uzzah and Ioah, the sons of Abinadab, were driving the new cart, Uzzah and the ark. And when they came to the threshing floor at Nacon, Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled. God struck him down there because of his error, and he died, and David was afraid. So David was not willing to take the ark of the Lord into the city of David, and the ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And it was told King David, "The Lord has blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that belongs to him, because of the ark of God." So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with rejoicing. David and Michal. As the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out of the window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. God's covenant with David. The king said to Nathan the prophet, "See now, I dwell in the house of cedar, but the ark of God dwells in a tent." But that same night the word of the Lord came to Nathan, "Go and tell my servant David, thus says the Lord, would you build me a house to dwell in? When your days are fulfilled and you lie down with your fathers, I will raise up your offspring after you. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever." David's prayer of gratitude. Then King David went in and sat before the Lord and said, David's victories. And the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. David's officials. So David reigned over all Israel, and David administered justice and equity to all his people. Joab was over the army. Josaphat was recorder. Zadok and Ahimelech were priests. Suriah was the secretary. Benaiah was over the Sherites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were priests. David's kindness to Mephibosheth. And David said, "Is there still anyone left of the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?" Ziba said to the king, "There is still a son of Jonathan. He is crippled in his feet." And Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, son of Saul, came to David and fell on his face and paid homage. "Do not fear, for I will show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan, and I will restore to you all the land of Saul your father, and you shall eat at my table always."